Shalom, shalom. First off, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, or Kakadash. Yahweh being the true name of Heavenly Father, Yahushai being the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elders, a great millstone, that taught us truth and will well, and so I taste you, hopefully that puts us truth and honesty, sincerity. This is Brother Yawasap. Don't you know this is the spirit power of Yahweh Yahushai? And, this lesson's going into empires and how long they last, because you had America celebrated its 250th anniversary. And I just typed this in on Google, and it says, how long do empires last on average? A famous historical theory popularized by British John Glubb suggests that empires last on average of 250 years, or 10 generations. Okay? It says, however, historian data shows massive variation. While many fall quickly, others, like Roman Empire or the Ottoman Empire, survive for centuries. Many historians dispute the 250-year limit, pointing out that imperial lifespans depend on their ability to adapt. While the exact length varies, the cycle of these complex political systems is often traced to a few familiar phrases. The point is, it was brought up, and it's been once a doctrine accepted that, on average, is 250 years. Okay, so the countdown has begun on the Empire of America. The countdown has begun for the end of the empire of the American Empire. Okay? And the reason why is because its sins have reached unto heaven. There's been too many atrocities that has gone against the Bible and the scriptures. This place has touched the apple of the Lord's eye, the Hebrew Israelites. And the scriptures talk about how, Babylon is just going to be ruling for a short season, and there's going to be a country in the future when the end of the world comes past, that empire is going to be just ruling for a short season compared to other empires. Yeah, Roman Empire did last a long time, but it fell fast. America's going to fall fast too. You got some other empires that last a while, especially, in China. But ultimately, any country that comes against the Heavenly Father, historically speaking, the Lord has always brought it down in a very rapid and a very example way. Okay? This is Amos 9:8 says, Behold, the eyes of Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith Yahweh. Right? So the eyes of the Lord are on this place, this wicked, sinful kingdom. Okay? That's just the truth. So he's been watching the atrocities that go on, and this is why you see so many quote-unquote UFOs being reported. Those are those eyes of the Lord, which are his angels, okay? And they're watching everything and they're reporting daily. And you also have his prophets. The brothers preaching at the highways and hedges and doing lessons like this. The Lord's mouthpiece is also watching all the atrocities and sending prayers up to the Heavenly Father, complaining and let him know what's going on. And so every time you see brothers camp at the highways and hedges, all those reports have been going up consistently all these decades. Letting the Heavenly Father would know what's been going on. So you see, judgment, is going forth. You got wicked, demonic, false prophets being brought down low. The Lord has dismantled a couple of Israelite churches. Is getting ready to dismantle more. Okay. You have the women being judged. They're all complaining that men aren't, approaching them anymore, don't want them anymore. Men are just choosing themselves. And, so the judgment of Eve is beginning. She's losing her state benefits. Eve is losing her custody. She's losing her job. I think it was like almost 300,000. I might have heard somewhere of 300,000 quote unquote black women lost their employment last year. That's a lot, man. So the eyes of the Lord are upon this sinful kingdom, man. And Esau Edom's going down. He's been exposed. The Lord, bring out the topic of the whole Jeffrey Epstein to expose this devil to the whole world. And he's got all the phones and the footages being put on camera what Esau is doing in these other countries. He seems to forget everything can be recorded on a personal level now. People are pulling their phones up and see what he's doing to all them children in Gaza. That's why you have a national soccer team, okay, that dude Holland plays for, Erling Holland, Norway, when they faced Israel, he used one of Israel players. He he basically tripped him up and knocked him down, and used his body, the other player's body, to score the goal, to hit the soccer ball, to score it in. And after they won that game, they donated all the proceeds, all the money earned from that game, to the people of Gaza. For another nation to do something like that, it should let you know, that other place that did something very, very bad. Because who the fuck is going to just give up their whole, game money for a charity event? There's a lot of charity events that have taken place, but I haven't heard of an entire team donating all their money to a charity event like that. So that means the world is watching all of our enemies being brought low, man. This is the book of Obadiah, which is the most terrifying book, to the prejudice, slave ancestry only in the so-called white man. All right, it says the vision of Obadiah says, "Thus saith Yahweh concerning Edom," all right, which is the race of so-called white people. In the Bible, their ethnicity is called Edom or Esau, Edomites. Okay, it says, "We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, an ambassador to sit among the heathen. Arise and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised." Right? So this country is being greatly despised by all these other nations. They're going in there just kidnapping another nation's leader, Maduro, taking over, taking all the oil. And they go over there and they're doing all that in Iran, backing Israel up with all the genocide that they've been doing. It says, "I made thee small among the heathen," so the other heathen nations, they ain't having it. They're plotting against America right now, teaming up. It says, "Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee." Right. So the pride, that American pride, their Independence Day celebrations, they got deceived by those celebrations, thinking that they're still doing something and that everyone else looks at them as being great. No. People did not support what was going on, man. Nobody showed up to, Trump's July 4th celebrations. I think the state fair out there, or national fair, got canceled because of the inclement weather. There's a lot going on. The White House lawn is all destroyed from that UFC event, so it's looking bad. The reflection pool is looking bad. The country is looking bad for the genocide that's been going on. So all that pride, all this celebration, you've been deceived, man. Thinking that everybody fucks with you. Nobody fucks with this place. Okay? And that's why y'all just got kicked out the damn World Cup. It should be a little spiritual stuff, man. Babylon is going down. Okay? It says, "Thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high." Right. The American culture created all that concept of all the skyscrapers. It was a race to build the world's tallest building. And you don't read the scriptures? You don't read about Tower of Babel and the law and how many stories you're allowed to build your house? You got no business having no damn skyscraper shits is off. If you think I'm playing, look at Venezuela. They had to see that the hard way. All them people living in high rises, skyscrapers, man. That's a death trap. And you're supposed to have stuff like that. It says, "that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" Right. You ask your average American over here, the patriot ones, is America ever going to go down? No, it's going to live forever. But we just read, some reports of people that actually study history, and they're saying that the average countries only last 250 years. So how the fuck is this place going to last forever? No country has lasted forever. All of them have gone down eventually. Okay? It says, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. Which country has exalted itself as an eagle? Is America, the most out of all these other countries. They got some eagle on some other countries' flags and stuff, but over here in America, they push that thing heavy. You know, that eagle worship, the bald eagle. Exalt thyself as an eagle, all their air force that they got. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, right? You got the satellites and stuff. It says, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. So the Lord is going to bring this nation down. This book of Obadiah is prophesying about the nation, the country of America. So if you're ever wondering if America's in the Bible, it's in the book of Obadiah. You just won't see the English word America there. But you pay attention to the symbolism and the things that have gone out here, you can put two and two together, like especially with the verse I just read. Okay? So, you know, people are celebrating the destruction of this place. They thought they're celebrating it for it to continue. But very soon in the next coming months, and if we're here next coming years, you know, each year that passes or months passes, you're going to start hearing, you know, of more catastrophic stuff happening. And you're going to know it's of the Lord because there's too much happening at once. Okay? So, just a quick hit lesson, man. You know, because I was just kind of vexed about all the celebrations seeing, you know, because of all the stuff that's been exposed over the years, man. How the fuck can you celebrate a country when you got all these Epstein files out? How the fuck can you, in your heart, genuinely go celebrate this nation when you had that type of stuff coming out? People are so stupid, man. Stupid. And the files that came out involved all these political leaders, man. All of them. And people still went to go celebrate the birthday of this place with the fucking fireworks, bro. Are you serious? You still got niggas crying on TV to the national anthem and shit? Man, fuck this place, man. The Lord's gonna bring Babylon the Great. Modern day America is gonna go down. And it's gonna go down quick. Brace yourselves, man. So with that, I'm going to close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kakadash. Double honor to our apostles, elders, great millstone, touch us truth and will well. And stay to hope that puts us truth and our sincerity. Shalom.